They caught him at dawn, rifling through his own family's trash can wearing latex gloves. Not exactly how most innocent people spend a Friday morning. Brian Koberger, a PhD student in criminology who'd applied for an internship with the local police department, had murdered 4 university students in their own home 7 weeks earlier, and the evidence trail he left behind was devastating. This is the case of the Idaho 4, broken down by Coffeehouse Crime, and it's one of the most meticulously documented murder investigations of the 2020s. Section 1. 4 students and 1 ordinary Saturday night. On November 13, 2022, 4 University of Idaho students were found dead inside their shared house on King Road in Moscow, Idaho. Madison Mojan, 21, Kaylee Goncalves, 21, Zana Kernodle, 20, and Ethan Chapin, 20. The attack happened while they slept, around 4 in the morning, after a completely ordinary Saturday celebrating a Vandals football victory. A 5th roommate, Dylan, experienced something that would haunt investigators. She woke to noises she initially dismissed. She heard Kaylee say something like, "There's someone here," but it sounded casual. She heard crying from Zana's room, then a male voice saying, "It's okay, I'm going to help you." And then opening her door, she came face to face with a man dressed entirely in black, wearing a face mask with distinctively bushy eyebrows, walking straight toward her. He didn't say a word. He simply walked past her and vanished through the sliding glass door. Dylan froze, locked herself in, and didn't call police until the next morning. Section 2. The knife sheath that destroyed a PhD student. The killer had done a disturbingly good job of leaving almost nothing behind, with one critical exception. A tan leather knife sheath stamped Kabar USMC left on a bed on the 3rd floor. On the metal snap was a single, clean male DNA profile. Not a mixture, not degraded, one person. Security cameras captured a white Hyundai Elantra making several passes near the house around the time of the murders, then speeding away. Thousands of tips poured in from across multiple states. The car led investigators to Brian Koberger, a 27-year-old graduate student living just 15 minutes away in Pullman, Washington. His phone data was devastating. He'd been near King Road at least a dozen times in the months before the murders, almost always late at night. He had no reason to be there. Between 3 and 5 on the morning of the murders, his phone went completely dark in an area saturated with coverage. When it reconnected, it showed him moving away from the crime scene, perfectly matching surveillance footage. Section 3. The criminology student who studied how killers get caught. Koberger's background adds a chilling layer. He studied psychology, then criminal justice, then enrolled in a PhD in criminology. His coursework focused on criminal behavior, investigative methods, and the mechanics of crime itself. He'd applied for a data analyst internship with the Pullman Police Department. He was rejected. After his arrest, investigators found sections of his browsing history from the weeks before the murders had been wiped. His phone contained almost no contacts beyond his parents. Selfies on his device were categorized into before and after the murders, including one taken just 6 hours after killing 4 people. DNA confirmation came through an unusual route. Detectives recovered his father's DNA from family trash in Pennsylvania. It was consistent with being the biological father of whoever left DNA on the knife sheath. Every thread, the car, the phone, the DNA, the midnight scouting visits, was now tied to one person. Section 4. A plea deal that left every question unanswered. Koberger's trial was scheduled for June 2025, but weeks before, he accepted a plea agreement. He pleaded guilty to all 4 murders and a burglary charge. The state dropped its pursuit of the death penalty. The frustrating reality, we will likely never know why. The plea meant he wasn't required to explain himself. He offered no statement. The court couldn't compel him to describe his motive. He was sentenced to 4 consecutive life sentences without parole, each recognizing a victim individually. He waived all future appeals. For the families, it's a painful paradox, certainty that he dies in prison, but no closure on the question that haunts them: why their children? What drove a criminology student to commit the very crimes he studied? Section 5. Key takeaway: the illusion of safety in a college town. Moscow, Idaho is a town of 25,000 where violent crime is almost unheard of. The King Road house was noisy, social, the kind of place where friends dropped by unannounced. The front door was sometimes unlocked. It felt safe because it had always been safe. Brian Koberger exploited that. He scouted the location repeatedly. He chose his window. He turned off his phone. He moved through a house of sleeping students with enough precision that a roommate who saw him face to face didn't immediately realize what had happened. He's now in maximum security. The families continue to grieve, and Moscow is still processing how something this violent could happen in a place that quiet.